Imagine yourself in the examination hall of GATE. In the hour 1 of the exam, your speed is slower. You are taking your time to read the question, even the questions which require not more than 2 to 3 minutes. Even in those questions, you are spending, let's say, 4 minutes or 5 minutes of time. Obviously, your accuracy is good, but your time management is not right. In the hour 2 of the exam, slowly pressure starts to build. You look at the timer, clock is ticking, and now you think that you need to speed up. You have not solved much questions, and as a result of increase of your speed, you start doing silly mistakes. In the final 60 minutes, you are looking constantly at how many questions are left, how much time is left. Have the previous questions that you have solved, have you solved them correctly? The current question suddenly comes up to be difficult, slightly tougher. All these things you are parallelly thinking, time is decreasing, pressure is increasing, and time gets over. After the exam, if someone asks you, how was your paper? You will not be able to genuinely answer his question. Why? Because you yourself don't know how it went. You did not control those 3 hours of exam. Rather, you got controlled by those 3 hours. But the reality is that your 3 hours were spent something like this. But always remember that battles are first fought in mind. पहले जो जंग है वो दिमाग में लड़ी जाती है. तो if you think that you have covered all the syllabus, you have solved a decent number of questions, and now you are going to become a topper in GATE, I am sorry for the harsh words, but that's not how it works. You need a strategy to attack the exam in those 3 hours. And in this video, I am going to share 3 very simple but highly effective tips with you that you can apply and you can start practicing from today onwards, which will eventually help you in those 3 hours. And I'm sure a few of you will think that, sir, we are writing college exams for last 4 years without any strategy, without any plan. So why do we require a plan for another 3-hour exam? So let me clear this to you कि जो exam GATE है और जो आपका कॉलेज का एग्जाम है, उनमें उतनी ही सिमिलैरिटी है जितनी विन डीजल में और योगी आदित्यनाथ में. In your college, you can even become a college topper without having any strategy for your college exams, but GATE never works like that. So, the strategies that I am going to share, those strategies, those tips, you can start applying and practicing from today onwards. You will have to practice them for some days, for some weeks. Only after that you will be able to implement them in the 3 hours of GATE. The first tip is to attempt the test in cycles. Let me explain that. Suppose you sat for writing a 3-hour exam of GATE or any test series for 3 hours. You started from question 1, you move to question number 2, then 3, then 4, and in this manner only you are moving from start to the end. If some question is taking 2 minutes, still you are doing it. If some question is taking 7 minutes, still you are doing it. And you are just moving linearly from point A, start, to end. That is not the best way. Again, there will be some students who may score good marks with that strategy, but I am telling what will work for 99% of students. So that definitely is not a recommended way in which you should attempt the paper. Rather, you should attempt in cycles. How? You can divide your entire 3 hours into 2 or 3 cycles. In first cycle, you will only cover the most easy questions which you can just read, solve within 2 to 3 minutes and get the answer. Only those. Generally, you can call them low hanging fruits. Like if there's a tree, वो एक पेड़ है अगर आम का, और अगर आपको उसमें से आम पिक करने हैं तो आप सबसे पहले कौन से आम पिक करोगे? Will you climb to the top and try to pick the most difficult mango to pick, or you will just pick the low hanging ones? I would prefer picking low hanging ones first, correct? Because marks are marks, mangoes are mango, right? So if you are starting like this, in one go, in first cycle, you will be easily able to get a decent chunk of marks in very less time, because you will be solving those questions which you can solve under 2 to 3 minutes easily without any trouble. That is your cycle number 1. Then you went back and again you started visiting those questions which you could not answer, right? You will always have a color palette, right? Where you will have red, where you will have green, where you can mark for review. So those different colors will easily tell you that which one have you solved, which one have you answered, which one you have not answered. So in the second cycle, you will revisit those questions which you have not answered. And again you will repeat the same process. This time you may take 1 minute more or 1.5 minutes more for these questions, and then try to again move from start to the end, only picking those questions which you could not solve. Now there will be some questions here in the cycle 2 which will look super difficult. Maybe you are not even able to understand what question is telling you. So if you think that this question I cannot solve in cycle 2 without spending 10 minutes, then mark that for review. Or if there is any question where you are absolutely stuck, you have no clue what to do, mark it for review, move to the next one. If there is a question which you cannot understand at all in the cycle 2, I am telling you, mark it for review and move to the next one. So in the second cycle, you will start marking questions for review and keep solving whatever you can solve within 3, 4, 5 minutes. This is how you will move from start to the end. And coming to the final cycle, where you will only be picking and trying to solve the questions which you have marked for review. This is the way in which 3 cycles you have to perform in order to approach the 3 hours. There is possibility that some of you may find 2 cycles better. Go for it. It is not a rigid plan. You can modify this plan, and that's what you need to do. Some of you will think that, no sir, I think for me marking for review works best when I do it even from cycle 1. Do it. If you think from cycle 2, as I just told you, do it. If you think, no sir, I only want to run 2 cycles, do it. That's what I am trying to tell you, that these are the strategies that you need to make, which are not fixed. There is no one fixed strategy. Don't think that rank 1 to 100 are using same strategy of 3 cycles only. Some of them may be using 3 cycles, some of them may be using 2 cycles. Some exceptional toppers may be even going just by 1 cycle. That's what I'm telling you, that you need to start exploring what works best for you. You may be just doing 1 cycle, it may be working good for you. What if you start doing it in 2 cycles and your marks and your overall experience increases even more? Please understand, there will be some situations where maybe you are doing it in 2 cycles, let's say, and then you increase to 3 cycles. Okay, your marks did not increase much, but in cycle 3, let's say, you feel more in control, you feel more confident, then you should go with that. Please realize that the more confident, more in control you feel, higher will be your accuracy, more focus you will be having. So don't make marks the only criteria. It is very much possible that one full length test you wrote, which means difficulty level can change, right? No two full length tests will have exact same difficulty level. So comparing their marks may not give you the true picture always. So try to feel that how much in control am I feeling? How much confident I am feeling, right? And that you need to do not for 2 or 3, but for at least 4, 5 full length tests. Try different things and analyze that what is working best for you, not mainly in terms of marks of the test, but in terms of how confident or how in control you are feeling. Trust me, that will increase your marks in GATE. And the best way, as I just explained you, to do that is to attempt full length tests at a regular pace and always try to experiment with your strategy. See which strategy is working better for you, and at least 10-15 days before GATE, finalize your strategy. Fix your strategy that this is what I am going to do. I have attempted 4-5 FLTs and now I have realized this plan is working good for me. This is the plan that I will follow, and do that only for the last 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks till GATE. As I just repeated, best way is to attempt balanced full length test, and at this point of time I will very confidently and proudly tell you that you must write Exergic's full length test. I know how much work goes behind those tests to ensure that tests are very much balanced. The quality of questions is good as well as relevant. And there's no doubt that from last 6-7 years, the toppers of GATE Mechanical have always chosen Exergic test series. So I recommend you that you must enroll as early as possible, start writing test, make a strategy as I told you. The second tip is regarding some uncomfortable situations that you will get in the 3 hours of exam. For example, time when you have crossed 6-7 minutes on a question, you are still stuck, you are not getting the answer, you don't know what to do. What would you do in those situations? What would be your mindset in that situation? That you should know. Will you start panicking? Or have you already planned for such things? You have already planned that, acha, there will be a couple of such questions jahan main fasunga. What have I planned for that? What would be my mindset for those questions? Will I start panicking? Or will I mark it for review and move to the next one? Is it the first cycle where I just have to not worry and even I don't have to spend 6-7 minutes on that question? I should move quickly to the next one. All these things you should plan ahead already. What happens if I see 2, 3, 4 difficult consecutive questions, one after the other? It may happen. Questions are randomized. No two students are getting same order of questions, right? We can almost claim that. So it is very much possible that some percentage of students will have easy questions, continuous, easy. And some questions may have tough, difficult questions, one after the other. Because when you randomize question, that may happen. Have you planned for that? Will you start getting overconfident when you see 3 easy questions? Or will you start fearing for your marks, fearing for your accuracy when you will see 3-4 difficult questions? What would you do? So what I am trying to convey to you is that you should also be ready and planned for those situations which may not be comfortable. And the final tip is regarding the optimization, the balance of speed and accuracy. I can tell it to you from my own experience as well as by observing hundreds of toppers that speed, if you increase, your accuracy will decrease. That's for sure, for almost everyone. But you cannot decrease speed a lot because you have a limited time. So what should generally be your speed so that you are not only able to get a good accuracy, but also you are able to finish the test in 2 or 3 cycles. This is what you need to understand about yourself. There is no fixed answer. If someone is telling you, this is the answer that I am giving on your behalf, he is lying to you, he is misguiding you. I am telling you there is no one fixed answer to this. You need to find this out by writing test, that what optimal speed is balancing the accuracy as well as the time of completion of the test for me. I can clearly tell you that a lot depends upon those 3 hours. You have covered all concepts, you have covered all numericals, but if those 3 hours do not go well, you may not be able to get a good rank. That's an unfortunate reality. But if you start implementing the 3 tips that I gave you from today itself, go and enroll today in Exergic full-length test. Start writing them on a regular basis. Analyze your attempt, not only in terms of marks, but in terms of what learning you can get. What types of mistake are you making? I will be making one video on that very soon, how to analyze your test attempt. But in addition to that, what 3-hour strategy are you choosing? In what cycles are you choosing that? What do you do when you get stuck? What mindset do you have? Correct? And what is an optimal balance of speed and accuracy for you? All these 3 answers, all these 3 things, you must develop a strategy for those by writing the tests. Very soon I will be uploading another video regarding how to analyze the test that you are attempting. So make sure that you do not miss any of the upcoming videos that I am going to upload. I wish you all the best.